Oh, wow. Okay, so pozdrav svima, dobrodošli u još jedno ludo izdanje Ri Rock podcasta. Svijet je u kolapsu zbog pandemije koronavirusa, kultura smišlja načine kako da preživi. Tu skače ideja da se sve digne online, pa tako i naš podcast prelazi u online izdanje. Podsjetit ću vas sve da svakako čekirate Music Box, naše prostore za probe bendova, također studio Palach, Radio Rožu u kojoj se upravo nalazimo, hvala Radio Roža, također naše sponzore Art of Music, ali i nove Facebook grupe koje smo nedavno pokrenuli kako bi podigli vidljivost alternativne mjuze. Bacite oko na grupe Ri Rock scena, Ri Rock glazbeni oglasnik, Metalci Rijeka, te se obavezno pretplatite na naš YouTube kanal, jer imamo namjeru i dalje vam donositi vijesti i uvoditi vas u svijet Ri Rocka. U ovom broju pripremili smo 2 razgovora, gdje na jednu stranu pričamo sa atmosferičnim doom metal bandom VARAHA iz Amerike, a na drugu sa riječkim funk bandom Grapevine Babies. Tu dolazimo do našeg prvog razgovora gdje preskačemo veliku baru i u principu idemo skroz daleko do dalekog Čikaga i razgovaramo sa mojim friendom Fabiom iz benda VARAHA koji djeluje pod legendarnom kućom Prosthetic Records, a glase kao nova nada metal svijeta. Fabio je Italijan iz Rima koji me svojom pričom o teškom radu i finalno uspjehom ponukao da porazgovaram s njime i pružim bendovima primjer dobre prakse kao kako se nešto može postići ako to zaista želiš. Ja ću se još samo ću vam svima reći da ako pratite ovaj live stream da postoji mogućnost internet da će pasti i da može se nešto desiti, ali evo, ne možemo utjecati na to. Emisija će biti snimana pa možete kasnije pratiti našem YouTube kanalu. Hey man, welcome to the Ri Rock podcast. Let's talk about music. So you guys made an awesome video named Karantinas addressing pandemic and featuring your song Disbelief, where for the first time in history of a big city as Chicago, you could see completely empty streets. The video went viral, where even big TV houses like NBC played it on. What's the story with the video, who made it, and what it stands for?
The key important thing about this video is that if musicians or DJs don't tour or play live, then the bartenders are unemployed, the merch people, the writers in the press are unemployed, the videographers, the photographers, everybody.
Yeah, bookers, managers, yeah, everybody. Yeah.
So, and I think that, I think Karantinas, and I told them, when I approached them with the idea, I said, hey, let's make a video for Disbelief, because I think that's how everybody in Chicago feels like looking at our city being so empty. We're all like in disbelief, like, whoa, Michigan Avenue, one of the busiest avenues in the country, is a ghost town. And I think that it just represents how we're all feeling. And it's more so dedicated to all those people who make the artists who they really are. Because we would be nothing without our publicists, our record label, the press, our friends, showgoers, talent buyers, the music venues, the bartenders, the security. Everybody is really one, and we all need each other to survive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, this is really a great story, and I will invite everybody to see this video. Yeah, it's totally awesome. Yeah, I have friends working here while we were talking. So yeah, let's actually talk about your band. You're a founder of a band, VARAHA. VARAHA is an Indian god, right?
Yeah, it's basically the Indian avatar of God Vishnu in boar form that lifts the the earth from underneath the ocean. So it's a symbol of rebirth, of spring. And I think that, like, the funny thing is that, we did not want to find something from the Western world to name the band, and a lot of names are already taken, honestly. So I started looking elsewhere. I'm a big fan of non-Western culture, and I want a name from either Asia or India, and the name VARAHA came up, and at first I was not sure. And then actually the funny thing, there's a funny story behind this, is that I have a good friend in Puerto Rico, and I was talking to him, and I said, hey, I'm going to call my band Varaha. And he misunderstood me. He thought I said baraja, which in Spanish means deck of cards.
Oh, okay.
So that's a double meaning.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Varaha in Indian means rebirth. The god that lifts the earth from the ocean.
Yeah.
In Spanish, baraja means fate. Like, hey, these are the cards that you have been dealt with in life. Take it or leave it.
You can put two words. You can put them together actually, and make a new story.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I talk about it a lot, because I have this conflict between was everything written already for us. I'm not a religious person. I'm somewhat spiritual, but I still question whether it was everything pre-planned, which is baraja. Here are your cards. Or do you have a choice to make things better? Or do you have, it's really about free will versus predestination. And I think I have a lot of this struggle between the two.
So wait, is the music actually, the music of Varaha, of your band, is it also about this? Is it also this conflict and like all these things that you're saying? Is your music standing and your lyrics, are they behind this?
I mean, of course, our life defines who we are, influences our music, our backstory influences our music, our struggle influences our music, which kind of sucks because, a lot of people expect the creatives to be perfectly behaved. And I made many mistakes. And, I told some people if I did not have these issues or if I did not have these questions, I would not be making the music that I make right now. And of course, it has an influence. This being said, I also think that it's very, very important for me not to make my music autobiographical because although sure, some of the stuff that I write in my lyrics may be cryptic, I still believe that music has to be relatable regardless of who you are and what your background is. And people need to get something, whatever, out of it. So it's a weird balance between talking about personal issues and struggles, as well as making it so that anybody can somewhat relate to the storyline.
Cool. Yeah. This is so this is this all that is behind what your music and your band? Is there more?
I mean, it's about storytelling, really. There will be more. Everything will be different. Everything will grow, and it will never be the same. A lot of people judge bands who have changed their sound or content or aesthetic. We change daily. So yes, this is the core. The core of it is storytelling, is telling some kind of visual narrative or musical narrative that anybody off the street can get something out of.
Cool. I love this. It's awesome. So can you tell me what kind of music you make? It's I don't know. I've been listening to your music, of course, and I don't know. It's like for me, it's kind of. I would say there's there's a lot of old school black metal. I don't know, but now people would say like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Like. That's not true, but yeah, it's like atmospheric. It has screamos and like in the black metal screams, not the new metal screams. And there's also doom that black metal before in the 80s had, and I don't know. It's like a post metal, atmospheric black doom. What is it? Come on, tell me what it is.
I don't know. You know what? I personally don't like to give it was really hard, when people ask us, how do you want to define your sound? I think that the exact reason why we play metal is because of all genres, metal allows you to do whatever you want. So you have bands like Arturus, and then you have bands like Suffocation, and you have bands like Bolt Thrower, and you have bands like Opeth. they're completely different because playing metal really allows you to do whatever the heck you want. And that's the reason why I love this community, because it does allow you to use whatever tool is at your disposal to paint your canvas.
Yeah, is it true?
You know what? Of course, some people are going to be more narrow-minded because, it is what it is. Everybody's different. I don't judge them. Hey, I like brutal death metal. I like hardcore still. I like a lot of different stuff. This being said, within the metal world, you still have the opportunity and the freedom to make that choice whether you can use a wider palette. Yeah. And I like to be able... If I was involved in a hip hop movement or in the indie rock movement, believe it or not, I don't think that we would have the freedom to do what we do now, which is do whatever the heck we want. So I would prefer not to limit myself to one specific genre, because that's just not who I am. Just like, we talked about earlier, what inspires your stories. We're different. All of us in Varaha are very, very different people, and everybody brings their story to the table, and that's what makes the genre. It's not about who we listen to. It's about our stories and how me, Brian, and Joel combined put the pieces of the puzzle together and complement each other and inspire each other.
Yeah, I completely understand you, because I'm like playing in a stoner band, but we actually mix a lot of music in it. So it's like, I don't know, there's like new and modern music, but there's also old school, and I don't know, it's instrumental music, and I don't know, it has some groove, but then again, it has like parts of metal and rock, and it's like we should play with music. And I think the future of music, it is mixing everything, and I think new kids are doing this. It's like I think they call it the Z generation, where all the new kids are like mixing all the music, and like they're listening to pop and like death metal. So for us, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But actually, it's I don't know, they're making a new future where everything's possible, I think.
I think it's amazing. I see it. You're right. In Chicago as well. I think it's great. And, the community is getting more and more diverse, and we have a wonderful, wonderful city, and I see it every day. And it's kind of interesting, as I get older, to see the young kids and try to find a way to reach them, to find a bond with them and understand the world that they're in. It's definitely a different world, but there's a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah, you mentioned your city. So Chicago is more like industrial city and something like that. Am I right? Yeah, it's great, because Rijeka in Croatia is also famous for being an industrial city. Now it's changing everything, as we are this year we're capital of culture of Europe. So it's like we're changing things, and it's a great thing to mix this industrial thing and this car thing into something cultural, and I think it's very amazing, and I think. There's a connection also to Chicago with this, so it's very nice. I love that you said you were talking about your town. That's great. So I want to talk about something from your past, and like what happened with the band. So you are born in Italy and lived there for some time, then fight your way up all the way to America, where in 2013 you founded Varaha and finally made it with signing a contract with legendary Prosthetic Records. Can you tell us more about your trip, like from Italy to the time where you started as a small band, then to signing a major record? Your story tells us actually that anyone can make it if they really want. How did you do this? Give us all the juicy, interesting details, like from your life in music.
It's a very long conversation.
Yeah, try to sum it up.
It's a very long journey. I was born and raised in Rome, and I'm very, very grateful of my upbringing, my cultural upbringing. Sure, sometimes it backfires as well, because sometimes you have to step back and remember that culturally I was raised in a different country. This being said, I'm very, very grateful that I was brave enough when I was 19 to leave Italy and travel. Around 1997, I believe, I moved to London for a couple of years, and we were squatting. I was involved in the hardcore punk scene Because I did the opposite.
Wow.
People start off with hardcore punk and then go to metal. I did the opposite. I started off with metal and then discovered the punk scene, the hardcore scene. And I think that I was very, very attracted by the social political involvement of the hardcore scene. And I moved to London in 97 and we were squatting. It was kind of weird because in Italy, squats are music venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in London, squats were places where people live. And it was kind of interesting for me to see the difference.
Isn't this also in Berlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, where people like also live there, and yeah, in Croatia we have also one squad that, two of them. I think that are also you can live in them. You know, there are squads that just are music venues. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because squatting was legal back then in England, and there's a big community, people helping each other out. And I think what's very important about London, the London years from 97 to 99, is that I was there back and forth. Is that I think that Italy is culturally amazing, but London is just international, especially back then in the late 90s. Me being a metalhead, going to London and seeing so much diversity, I think that it really inspired me. And when I went back to Rome after being in London, I said, screw this. I need to get out of here. I need more diversity in my life. And I think that London was more forward thinking and somewhat Italy is more culturally stagnant. And I said, screw this. I'm moving to the States. and I bought a one-way ticket to the States. My first stop was Detroit because I have family in Detroit. So my plan was to go to Detroit first for a couple months and then go to New York. And yeah, I know it's crazy. I would have never made it in New York. But I went to a movie theater and I saw this kid with a straight edge tattoo. And I literally, fresh off the boat, I went up to him. His name is Sikander. He's a close friend of mine now, still, obviously. And I told him, hey, you're straight edge. We're becoming friends. So we became friends, and I became very good friend with his family as well. They were almost my adopted family in the States. And I still talk daily to his mom, Elizabeth. And then Sikander and I ended up going to Chicago to see Limprist. That's the queer punk band with Martin from Los Crudos. And so we drove to Chicago and I went to the show. I was an idiot. I was 19, okay?
Wait, how much time? 1
hour drive.
1 hour drive?
5
5-hour drives? Okay. Just to see
show.
one band. Yeah, that's awesome. Fuck yeah.
And, we stopped at Reckless Records, went record shopping, and just explored the city. And some people at the show recognized me because I played back in the days in Another Day, the metal band from Rome. And I did some stuff overseas as well. And I was wearing a Rome straight edge hoodie as well. And people were like, who are you? And then Martin and I from Los Crudos became friends. And then eventually we ended up being roommates for a while. He's like, told him, hey, I hate this. I hate Detroit. And he pretty much said, hey, do you want to be my roommate? And I said, okay, sure. So me and Martin lived together for about 5 years. And
awesome.
Yeah, that's a long story. We're not in touch anymore. And I hope that he's doing okay. And then, you know what? I ended up pursuing my dream, which is really the number one reason why I moved to the States, was to do film, because film kind of encapsulates the three things that I do. Music, obviously. I did photography back in Italy as well. I used to do shoots for graffiti artists and breakdancers. And then writing, I've been writing poetry for a very long time. So I figured put all the three art forms together and do film, which is a combination of the three. So I went to Colombia. I literally moved to the States with $500, started working. My first job was at Reckless Records, which I cherished those days when I was 20. And I'm still a very close friend with many people there. They're like family. And then I started working at Jin's Cafe, where all the old musicians from back in the days used to hang out. So, it's kind of weird for us, So here we are 20 years ago, and the guys from Tortoise and Joan of Arc and Pelican, and we're all teenagers, trying to figure out what we're doing, And it's kind of magical to be there in those days, in the early 2000s, in the same spot, And then, like I said, I decided to go to school. I went to school for film, and I graduated, and Columbia picked me and a few other directors and sent us to LA for a to find out at the end of our degree for the summer LA program. So I started working at CBS Radford, being coached by Gilbert Shilton from Beverly Hills 90210. I miss him. He's a great director. And so I was there for a while, and it was fun. It was amazing. I don't think that I was happy in LA. I don't know. It's like a question coming from Rome, where it's a walking city. You ride your scooter, you take the train. I did not like LA. It wasn't for me. And other stuff happened, and I ended up moving back to Chicago. And then when I moved back to Chicago, time went by and I was not doing anything creative. And I realized that it was a necessity that I needed to do something creative again. And that's when I decided to form VARAHA. And honestly, I just made a Craigslist ask, like, hey, I'm just gonna well, there's more to it actually. Do you know the band Indian?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I've been bartending part-time to make ends meet. And Billy from Indian, before he passed away, worked across the street from me at the Note, which eventually became the Flatiron, for many years. And he knew that I used to play metal back in the days. And he always used to tell me, hey, Fabio, you're a metal guy, own it, do it. And I used to question myself. I'm like, no, man. I mean, I'm not sure the metal scene will, accept me or be cool with me. I'm just gonna do my thing. And he kept on telling me, no, Fabio, you need to play metal again. And that's when I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I went on Craigslist and I put a Craigslist ad saying, hey guys, I like At the Gates, History's Gone, Catatonia, Opeth, Tragedy, and all this stuff. I want to play in a band. And that's when Joel Hollis replied to my Craigslist ad and said, wait, you like all those bands? Who are you? And then him and I became friends in 2013 and started working on VARAHA. And obviously, it was a hobby. It was a necessity. We just did it for fun. But we started working really hard. And then people started taking notice. And we started playing shows. And people were receptive and supported. And honestly, regardless of the shows, I think that the most important thing is that the community really took me in. Like, this is awesome. Let's, obviously you're doing something different, very European, that not many people are doing here in Chicago right now. And this is great. Let's do it. And also people were very proud of Joel, being so active and involved.
Yeah, I think Americans actually really like what's going on in Europe, but I think they have a bit fantasy thinking about that Europe is something what they think that it is, but it's or much more or much less, it depends from people. It's I've been talking to some people from America and this is what happens, or it's something huge, they're thinking about that it's I don't know, and I need to tell them chill the fuck down. And also there are people that are not thinking so much of it's done. Well, hey, wait, there's a lot of things, it's so I get what you're talking. Yeah.
I mean, 100%, especially about the perception overseas. I'm sure even in your and that's the thing, especially right now. With Trump being we're not a political band by all means, but I do wish that people in Europe and the rest of the world do not consider all American to be sheep and to be Trump supporter. Or there's so much diversity here in the States, and especially in Chicago. And that's what really defines the Chicago sound. Everybody's so different, and everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everybody comes from a different place, and everybody brings their piece to the puzzle. And I think that's what makes this city specifically, or New York, I love New York to death, so special. It's the diversity itself. And I agree with you. Europe has its diversity as well too, but a lot of people have this romanticized version of what Europe is.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So this trip, it's you've given, you've done some steps that are hard to do, and decisions. I don't care. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna make a metal band, and I'm gonna listen to you, dude, and I'm gonna do this. And I think this is important for young bands, to do this and like to decide, I'm gonna do a new band, and I'm gonna do the album, and I'm gonna sign with the record, and nothing is going to stop me. I think this way of thinking is very important, right?
I agree 100%. I think, like when it comes down to it, like you said, not only nothing is going to stop me, but also this has to be a necessity. I'm sure that a lot of the people who are creatives or do shows or are involved in the community, I think that it is a necessity to survive, to do these things. But especially what you said, you're going to get what you put in. So what you said is very important. Like, you have to put 100 in. You have to be all in 100. Honestly, even when you're signed to a label, if you don't do any work, with all due respect, you're not going to get the support.
You have
to make the effort. You have to show your A&R and your publicist that you are doing your homework and you're respecting.
They won't stand behind you if you're not working. So it's like very important that everybody gives 100%, and you actually gave 100% into your new album. Can we talk about that? A passage for lost years. It's like there are many guests on it. I have to say that it's like I was surprised when you told me about this. It's like musicians from Russian Circle, Bone Gripper, Mono, Yakuza, but also members from symphonic orchestras. And also one great thing happened. It's like cover art is done by legendary illustrator and designer Travis Smith. For those who don't know who he is, it's like the guy who made cover arts for like Death, Amorphis, Demons and Wizards, King Diamond, and many, many more. It's like, what can you tell us about this collaboration and also about this new album?
Mm-hmm.
And also, why are orchestral music and all of this? Come on.
I think that, first and foremost, like I said earlier, I've been bartending for 20 years, so we all kind of know each other. And I think that if you know me as a person, it's kind of interesting. There's a very big difference between my music and my personality. I'm actually really outgoing, and I like to get everybody involved. I like to make sure that people come together, and I'm very grateful by having this wonderful city where everybody gives each other the benefit of the doubt, and also where people lift each other up on the way up, and people like look out for each other. So when we signed with Prosthetic, one of my biggest dreams, we talked about Reckless Records 20 years ago. Matt Jensic, who worked with me at Reckless, reminded me, like, Fabio, when Passage came out, he texted me, do you remember 20 years ago? I'm like, no. Like, I remember you told me that you were going to do orchestra metal. I'm like, you're doing it. I'm like, oh, shoot, you're right. I think this record is a promise that I kept to my teenage self. Nice. And I was raised in Rome, and I was raised listening to my parents' music. My parents loved spaghetti western and Ennio Morricone's music. So that's in my blood. I was raised listening to that. And I think that when we signed with Prosthetic, I want to challenge myself to achieve this dream and to compose and conduct an orchestra for this record. The reason why I did it is because I wanted this record to be a dance. I wanted to be a dance between orchestra and really heavy metal, and then go back down. I wanted to be a roller coaster, a journey.
Well, it completely is this, actually. When you listen to this album and these songs, you really did it. It really goes everywhere, and like really from you're completely right. Sorry for but I have to say this.
You saying that means that we succeeded, because I know some people probably frown. It's a very long record. It's a very demanding record.
Oh
It's funny how my favorite songs are the last 3 at the very end. So you know what? If you want to hear my favorite ones, you're gonna have to listen to the whole thing. Pretty much, like, it's really meant to be heard in one sitting, and I want to challenge myself to achieve this dream to have an orchestra. Ultimately, I would like to compose music for film and score music for film, and eventually, knock on wood, that's going to happen. But when it comes down to it, I wanted to do a journey on where, like you said, it goes all over the place because life is different. You know, like when you're watching a film, it's not always the same. You know, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. There's very powerful, loud moments, and there's very quiet moments, and that's what I want to do with this record. When it comes with the guest himself, and it's actually nobody from Russian Circles was in the record. Mike Lost, old-time friend, he recorded Empryos from them. So a lot of sound engineers more than performers were involved.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, we had Chuck Buntrager, which is the concertmaster from the Hamilton, an American musical, on violin 1. Then we had Nora Barton from Nuka Pazza on cello. We have Bruce Lamont, which is a legendary musician in Chicago. He's one of the best inventive saxophone players in Chicago, who has played in so many records. He's in Yakuza. He played really in every single band in Chicago at this point as a guest, and I love him. And then we had Nick from Bong Ripper doing special effects. We had... who else? Christina Lee from the Oak Park River Forest Symphony Orchestra. We had Nick Brosti from Nuka Pazza as well, and they worked for Mono and Wilco and Beirut, doing sound engineering and trombone. So, like, in reality, it comes down to it. What I really just did...
Can I just stop you for a second? And so I can tell people that they can, like, go on your page and on YouTube or whatever they're listening to music and go just check all of this music, because... it's like when you're telling this, it's like I think everybody has this feeling. Okay, I need to hear this because it's a lot of music, a lot of instruments, and like it's like a lot of stuff that you're like, okay, I really need to check this. I'm also gonna tell to everybody from Croatia who are listening to this that after this on Radio Roža we have a metal show and we're gonna play one song from your band, so I'm inviting everybody to come and listen to this song, and like you can hear it then, you know. So, and also you can Google it. So just check the band. Okay, sorry for interrupting. Yeah.
No, it's cool. I appreciate you saying all that. You know, I'm very grateful.
It's like when you were talking, my head is exploding. Like what the fuck? You also have a theremin, right, in it?
Oh yeah, Alejandro. From the Valkyrie Lewis group on theremin.
Fuck, man. Yeah, that's amazing. You know. That's awesome, yeah.
And I love the theremin. It's very haunting, and
it's hard to play it, right?
Because Nick from Bong Ripper, you know, like I got him to do special effects and synthesizers. So we went to the Navy Pier and recorded like the ships, you know, the sound they make on the pier. Because obviously the whole record is about water, and I gave Nick De La Croce all the samples, and he just messed up with the sample, and then we put theremin on top. And I told our co-producer at Decade Studios, which now they changed their name to Palisade right now, and I told him, hey, can you like just mess this up, make this sound like black, you know? And it was a journey, and I think that when it comes down to it, we talked about Chicago. Passage, a Passage for Lost Years, which turns 1 year tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, its anniversary is tomorrow. I think that it's really about the city, and that's why I want to involve everybody. You know, I hit up Greg Norman at Electrical Audio, which is Steve Albini's studio, and I told Greg, hey man, I'm crazy. I want to get an orchestra. Can you help me? You know, and he suggested some people. And then I talked to obviously Bruce Lamont. I talked to Stephen. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. Obviously, Nick, Mike.
Too much people.
I talked to Sanford Parker, and Sanford Parker, you know, big time producer, also suggest. So everybody kind of like worked together. I had this crazy idea, and I just reached out to the community and said, hey guys, I'm going to put an orchestra in my record. Can you help me? And people said, hell yeah, let's do this. I'm going to make it happen. And then when finally I contacted Christina Lee from the Oak Park and River Forest Symphony, she's the one that helped me and coached me coordinate like all the people. And then Bill Aldridge at Third City Sound Studios in Joliet, Illinois, he was my assistant director for the orchestra stuff. And then I had to make sure this all matched with the metal in Varaha. So we had many meetings with the band to make sure that everything would just come together so that it would just flow, like from symphony orchestra to really heavy metal. And it was very challenging to, it's called the art of the invisible, when you make things flow seamlessly. And it took a lot of planning for all the tracks to just flow through.
Yeah. This sounds really amazing, and it's actually great because it was your first idea and you wanted to do when you were a kid, and then you finally did it and realized everything and get to it, and it's fucking amazing. And yeah, it's like, and now you have your own meet. You got 2019 Best Award. You work with Travis, who's a legend.
That's like many, on that one,
yeah, it's like, yeah,
weird how, like, you know, I mean, Travis Smith painted my favorite records, like, and it's kind of weird for me to befriend this artist and to work with him. Like, sometimes I step back and I'm like, I looked up to you like you were a god when I was a teenager, and now we're texting each other jokes, or like, you know, and it's kind of weird to realize that all these people are really human beings and they all have their story.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When you're a kid, it's like you're completely, when you see someone, he's a god, you know. But then when you grow up, you find it's like it's the thing where they say don't meet your idols, you know. It's like because you can get disappointed. But yeah, sometimes it's like when you see your idols, you can actually be very satisfied. It can be a satisfying experience, and like it can be really great and see that these people are actually people and not just some gods. And like I don't know, you can hang with them. It's really great, and have a beer with them, and like I don't know, do stuff. So it's I believe it's very actually great.
I think it's very inspiring. I think that, you know, that's why, you know, like I tell everybody, you know what. Embrace those around you. Talk to people. Meet people. Their story can enrich you and will inspire you. And
I agree. Totally,
people, it's a learning lesson. I'm learning every day, and I make a lot of mistakes. Okay,
of course.
I make a lot of mistakes.
I think everybody does. Come on, yeah, it's life, you know.
But you know, and I know there's things I regret, but you know, like in the end, you know, like it's always a never-ending learning process.
Yeah, so we have like maybe 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna go quickly through a few more questions, and it's like, do you think the old times were easier for music artists, or is it easier now, or like I don't know what you think about this?
I don't think a lot has changed, believe it or not. It's weird.
Okay.
Because I remember in the 90s, you know, it was all word of mouth. You share mixtapes. You shared mixtape, you know, for the people you loved. And now it's not that different. We have the internet, which means actually that there's too much where people are oversaturated and people get annoyed and just stop looking. Instead, people are almost going back to the old ways where it's word of mouth, where I'm going to talk to my friends and they're going to tell me what I'm going to listen to. And I think that's very important to just have this bond and connection. Sure, technology has made everything easier because now I can send you music with a click of a button, and things are easier right now. And then are they now really? Because think about it, we cannot go to a studio right now.
You're right. Yeah.
Right now, we cannot have band practice right now.
Yeah.
So we have to work. So sure, I'm grateful that I can FaceTime my bandmates, but right now I cannot see them in person. So now specifically it's a weird situation. So yes, things are different and things always change. I'm grateful for the past because I'm grateful to live in a small distribution where you email something and you hope that you're going to get the tape. And I love back in the days where we had each other. And it's funny, like, for some reason, we knew, and I was talking to John Rosenthal recently, from the press, and it's kind of interesting how even though we did not have the internet, we always knew what was happening in the world.
Yeah, like, it was. I think it was from person to person, just like transforming. How do you say this? Word to word, like mouth to mouth, mouth to ear. And it's like people are talking. Sometimes you get wrong information, but still the information is there, and you would ask somebody, is this true? And then he would say no, or it is. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, it's funny, right? I mean, we just knew things. Like, how do you know? Like, how do you know what's happening in Scandinavia? I don't know. I just know.
That's it. It's great. It's like when I remember when I did one of my first concerts that I was doing, and I'm remembering now. It's like somebody tells me, it's hard to do this, and I remember, I would just pick up the phone and tell the guys, hey, you're playing on Saturday, and you need to come and just bring your equipment. Yeah, goodbye. That was it. It's like the phone was this is it. No emails, no anything. It's like
before the internet. And you know what? Like you said, a keyword, shows. That's what it comes down to. Back in the 90s. And now, go to shows. That's the only thing. Don't even look at the bill. That's why sometimes, there's here in Chicago, the Empty Bottle, Reggie, Sleeping Village, the Hideout, Lincoln Hall, the Metro. We have so much that, especially right now with the pandemic, once the pandemic is over, we just cannot take any of this for granted anymore. Somebody's playing, get out the house and go. Even if you don't know who's playing, just go, because that's really the only way to learn all these stories, just like back in the days before the internet, where we went to all the shows and supported all the artists, big or small, because it was a way of life. And hopefully, after this bullshit is over, people will go back to that. People will have a necessity.
Yeah, like you said, we're a community. And support them when we come to the concerts. We talk to each other and we spread this information. We get together and we make new ideas and we make new music. This is the important part when we see each other. That's the thing. And listen to the bands and talk about them. And this. If this Corona thing at least it got us to get Chicago and Croatia, Rijeka, to get connected. And we're talking as I always say, in every band there's something good. So it's this is it. Yeah.
I mean, like we said, it's what you make of it. There's some people that could just be are you gonna be miserable at home taking pictures of your dishes or posting stupid memes? And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I love comedy. There's a time and place for everything. Or are you gonna make an effort and work hard and work on bettering yourself and work with the community and put yourself aside really and focus on the world and focus on others and learn from them? There's a lot of challenges right now that we're stuck at home, and there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. Because time, we talked about it earlier, time is all we have right now. So it's all about what we do with this time.
Yeah, and I think this is a good advice for all the bands out there, and young bands and older bands, and for everybody. Create and make more music and hang with your friends, talk about music, and do all the stuff that it's very important for our scene. Or as you said before we started live stream, you said you don't call it a scene anymore, you call it the community. And this is what we are, everybody in this world who are into alternative music. And we're all one big, huge community. So okay, I think we're done. And I will really, this is a great conversation. We could talk for hours. But I want to thank you for this. Thank you for being here. I want to wish you luck with your band. It's really great for you being here and talking with me about this. And I will also say to everybody to check Varaha. We're going to put the links below on the YouTube video. So check everybody, check the links, listen to the music, and support them. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm gonna go on Croatian. Thanks, man. We're gonna talk more as we do every day on Facebook. And for everybody else, ostanite s nama jer nam je moja suvoditeljica Marina pripremila sočan razgovor s našim punk bandom Grapevine Babies. Vraćamo se ubrzo. Thanks, Fabio.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you all for having me.
See you, dude.
Zdravo, ja sam Marina i evo nas u drugom dijelu 16. Ri Rock podcasta. Što reći o ekipi koja slijedi? Pa, tepujem da su mnogoljudna kvarnerska punk senzacija, a ja bih rekla da su funkodelični kolektiv. Sa mnom su Kristijan i Luka iz Grapevine Babies. Dobrodošli u Ri Rock podcast. Gdje ste? Koja je vaša lokacija?
Evo, ja sam u Rijeci, ja mislim na Krku i dalje.
Luka? Luka?
Luka?
Kikiš da smo ostali sami.
Pa moguće. Napustio nas je.
Napustio nas je. Dobro, mi smo bar u Rijeci, možda mu je ono... Šta je gore negdje, a?
Ne znam šta se desilo.
Luka!
Evo ga.
Ćao, Luka!
Ipak si tu.
Evo, da.
Gdje si, jesi u Rijeci ili si na Krku?
Ja sam na Krku.
Ti si na Krku. Ok, kako je na Krku? Šta se događa sad u ovo vrijeme? Ono, ne možemo do vas, vi ne možete do nas.
Pa evo, uglavnom se šećemo s psom i po masliniku radimo i u prirodi smo. Malo u prirodi, eto.
Pa ok, produktivno. Svi su se okrenuli prirodi, da. Bar nešto. Ti, Kiki, šta radiš ova čudna, beskrajni dan, vremena?
Pa ništa, malo vozim biciklu. I dalje radim tu i tamo, malo razrijeđeno, ali eto. Uživam svakako. Dobro,
vrijeme nam prolazi.
Da.
Ok, ajde, vratimo se mi na vašu muzikicu. Ajde, recite mi ono kratko, tko su Grapevine Babies? Ono, kako je sve počelo?
Pa, jednog dana Luka me nazvao, to je možda bilo pred 5 ili 6 godina, ako se dobro sjećam, možda i 7. 6, ajde, dobro, imam titlove. Zvao me da se nađemo, da ima nekakvu ideju, da bi napravio neki novi band. Čak i onda, mislim, imao već 3 stvari nekakve snimljene na Krku, kućne izrade. I tako smo se našli, popričali, ja sam rekao da sam za, našli smo basistu, gitaristu smo imali, koliko se već sjećam, sa Krka, Nino, i 2 cure su bile kao back vokale, ja mislim Lucija i Ana. I kako smo imali tu jednu garažu na Trsatu od mog nekog starog benda, tamo smo se prvi put našli da uopće probamo kako će to zvučati, da li mi to možemo, da li bi to htjeli. I na kraju je ispalo nikad bolje zapravo.
Koliko vas ima sad trenutno? Sorry što ste prekinula.
Koliko nas trenutno ima?
Da.
Pa trenutno nas je 13.
Opa!
Nije za vjerovat, ali eto, tako je. Mislim da nas je u prvoj postavi bilo 5, 6, možda 7 maksimalno. I onda kako smo radili s vremenom se to povećavalo.
Dobro, prvo 12 apostola, sad ste već apostoli po dogmi, ono laganih 13. Mrak. Da. Od kad djelujete u ovom sastavu? Ono, kako ste se uopće skužili? Mislim, puno vas je ono, to treba nekako... Morate se kužiti. Gdje ste se našli?
Generalno, nije neki veliki problem kad imaš želje, volje i vizije i podijeliš drugim ljudima koji su zainteresirani, koji su isto ima muzika fora, tako i radimo i koji smišljamo, onda je bilo iznenađujuće lako skupiti sve te ljude. Praktički kako smo pitali i čuj ovo, da li ti se sviđa, bih htio biti dio toga. Svi su manje više rekli odmah da, zašto ne, ajmo probat. I onda smo se organizirali, imamo organizirane probe, tako da dijelovi benda dolaze na probu, isprobava se i onda se kad tad svi uspijemo skupiti u nekom prostoru od ove naše garažice koje imamo, najčešće na Krku ili tako negdje. I onda sve to skupa probamo i ja reći da sad da kucnem u drvo, funkcionira ok i kažem, što se mene tiče da nas je 20, bilo bi mi isto. Moj moto je što više, to bolje. Za ovakvu muziku koju radimo, meni osobno paše.
Da, pa top zvučite, zvučite kao mali orkestar, stvarno, sve sekcije su vam jake, tako da, top. Da, kad smo već kod toga, opišite mi vaš stvaralački proces, ono, kako to izgleda, kako stvarate vašu glazbu?
Tako da neko dođe uglavnom sa generalnim idejom. Znači sam to ja, pošto pišem tekste i pjevam, pa onda ja nekako pratit ću gitaru, nešto napravim, nekakvu ideju, dođem na probu, kažem Kristijanu probaj svira tako, onda basistu tako i svi se nekako malo spoje. U jednoj za sad je tako funkcioniralo, ali s vremenom su se ljudi skužili, više opustili, tako da sad svako manje više ima neke svoje ideje i onda sklapamo naravno koji pretpostavljam svaki band svirajući i žderajući tu pjesmu do nedogleda da nađemo ono kako bi trebalo zvučiti.
Da, i zanimljivo je kako Luka dođe s idejom, pa to prvobitno sviramo naš petero zapravo, 2 gitare, bas, bubanj i perkusije, jer smo mi kao tu Rijeci stalno. I zanimljivo je kako svaki put dođu bras dionice, dođu back vokali, kako se ta pjesma zapravo gradi i mijenja. To je recimo meni najljepši dio stvaranja bilo kakve pjesme. Ali zanimljivo u svakom slučaju.
Pa i puno vas je ono, tako da kad svako donese nešto svoje, to je ono...
Tako je, da.
Da. Što vas inspirira? Šta vas loži?
Šta nas inspirira? Pa bendovi poput Funkadelika, Sly and the Family Stone, Talking Heads, a tako u biti raznoliki su bendovi koji nas inspiriraju.
To su manje više utjecaji, glazbeni, a inspiracija, ja moram reći, svakodnevna, barem meni, u bilo kakvim manjim stvarima, volim u biti se zamišljati u ulogama u kojim nikad nisam bio ili nisam. Ajmo reći, meni je pjesme koje radim i glazba nekakav put u nekakav drugi svijet. Ja. Tako da, to je moja inspiracija.
Kiki, tvoja?
Pa gotovo isto, samo što ja nisam tip koji toliko doma sluša muziku, pa ne bi rekao da me sad baš neko posebno inspirira, više dajem sve od sebe, ne znam kako bi to opisao. Uživam
to jednostavno
u tom trenutku
izlazi iz tebe, ima i takvih ljudi, ne moraju se inspirirati.
Da, ne znam, nije da imam nekog uzora ili nešto po čemu bi radio, više kako slušam muziku pa se tim nadograđujem i gledam šta bi tu mogu odsvirati.
Pa to je, izlazi iz tebe. Koja ideja benda? Imate neku mantru, ono? Svi za jednog, jedan za sve, funk svima, funka i dezinficijenstva, ne znam.
Nemamo neku mantru, ali možda je zanimljivo među zadnje pjesmama koje smo napravili, zove se Our Only Function is the Funk. Tako da nekako funk uvijek ga, ne bih rekao da to nekako američki kemijstirano funk, ali ja to više sebi u glavi je taj funk kao nekakav feeling groove koji imamo međusobno i koji želimo prenijeti drugim ljudima da se sjećaju barem jednako dobro kao mi kad to sviramo i stvaramo. Tako da neku baš posebnu mantru jednog jedan za sve nemamo, ali eto, taj funk nas povezuje i tako da.
Kako bi opisali svoju glazbu kad smo već kod toga? Alternativni funk, to sam našla nekakav termin.
Da, ne znam ni ja, evo, energičan funk, ima svega unutra, ima i rock'n'rolla. Baš doslovno energičan funk. Ne znam kako bi ja drugačije, ne znam, možda Luka ima neku ideju.
Po meni možda nije ni žanrovski ni potrebno toliko to definira, zato što se ne može svako od nas, zanimljivo je što smo kao jedna velika maestra glazbena, svako od nas nešto doprinese svoje, utjecaji su različiti i krene osnovni groove i kad svako nadoda svoje, to se desi se nešto što je možda temelj funka, ali ostalo se onda razvije, imamo mi nekakve žešće, možda bi se mogli nazvati rock stvari. Tako da evo, ajmo reći alternativni funk, kao što si spomenula, neka ostane.
Da, pa to bi bilo i najbolje. Onako ste sve obuhvatili, mrak, slušala sam vas i stvarno ima svega.
Baš maneštra.
Maneštra, ali dobro maneštra. Otočko-riječka. Što ste slušali ko klinci? Što vas je zakačilo za muziku?
Svi koji me znaju da nemam baš najbolje pamćenje sve mladosti, ali znam da smo se vozili auto i imali smo kazetu od Mika i te stvari. Jedna od prva stvari je bila to batifjaka, štrukuje me ta mala. To mi je ostalo u pamćenju, zato što nisam imao pojma, sam mislim pio na nekom drugom jeziku. Što znači štrukuje me, nemam pojma. Tako da to mi je ostalo u glavi. I onda kako sam odrastao, stariju sestru koja i pjeva s nama u bendu, njoj je interesantno što je naš dizajner trenutačni njoj kopirao nekakve kazete ili CD-eve i onda je ona to donosila doma i slušala bi urezala mi pamćenje ostao mi Paradise City. Rozi se kao pjesma, možda kao prvi nekakav znak da ti se probudi svijest da postoji nekakva glazba osim Gorana Karana i kako se slušaju na radiju. Mama i tata čuju na radiju, to se slušaju ja. Tako da uvijek sam se kad bi došao sobota slušaš i onda kad bi otišao, on bi ja potrebno staviti CD slušao, jednom me je uhvatila, ubilo je bila je što slušaš moje CD-eve, ali evo iskreno mogu reći da nije bilo nje i tih CD-eva koje je dizajner pržio sa Peppersima, Gunsima i tim stvarima koji se reći. Ne bi danas vjerojatno slušao ovo što slušam i radio što radim.
Znači, sestra napravila svoje, super. Kiki?
A meni su mama i nisam slušao baš Mik, ali sam ga morao raditi koji put, ali meni su doma starci najviše slušali rock and roll. Sjećam se nešto bio ili Joe Cocker ili isto tako AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, ali sad koja stvar mi je prva ostala u glavi, pitaj Boga, to ko da je bilo pre 100 godina.
Da pa ni ja se ne sjećam, meni su ostali Talking Heads, ali sad koja stvar isto nemam pojma.
Moguće da će biti AC/DC ili tako nešto. Od hrvatskih bendova znam da je bio Parni valjak, jer kad sam bio jako mali su me starci vodili na Parni valjak, pa mi je to ostalo kao rezano. Sad nije me izvozilo do kraja, ali kako ne
nisi
sjećam se.
u tom džiru.
Mogao bi svašta nabrojati.
A dajte onda što slušate sad, što bi preporučili nekom znatiželjnom uhu?
Pa ne znam, ja sam zapeo na Snarky Puppy već skoro 2 godine, to je recimo nešto što najviše slušam.
Dobro, one su to.
I dosta mi se sviđa. Drugo, pa ne, baš svašta. Još jedna maneštra od slušanja. Nemam nešto precizirano sad kao, sad ću doma se probuditi pa staviti to. Prije stavim radio pa slušam svašta.
Pa dobro, nego mislila sam ne znam, da li ste čuli nešto novo sad, pa da vam je sjelo, pa biste to preporučili. Nemam pojma, ja ne žvačem baš novu muziku, pa onda volim te uvijek muzičare pitati jer znaju me iznenaditi s nečim, šta je fora za preslušat.
Pa kažemo, od novog jedino je meni Snarky Puppy ostao rezan, ovo drugo nemam šta za reći previše. Ne znam, ti?
Luka?
Ja sam jedan od onih muzičara koji ne sluša isto novu muziku. Ja se vraćam sve više i dublje u povijest, istražujem to više, ne znam što mi valjda paše. Tako da u zadnje vrijeme najviše slušam Sly and the Family Stone, Earth, Wind and Fire. To mi for danas sam slušao, što sam danas slušao? Fleetwood Mac sam danas slušao. A od ovih nekih novih, odličan mi je album bio Childish Gambino, Redbone. To mi je bilo vrhunski, ako se to može klasificirati kao novi, to je bilo pre godinu 2. I tako da eto, to mi je okej, nažalost, nemam ništa baš novo za preporučite, to žao mi je.
Evo, ja sam neki dan otkrio MC5, pa mi jedan prijatelj stavio da slušam. Čudo, ali nikad nisam čuo za njih. Evo, sad sam se zaljubio, pa sam počeo slušati nekakve stare stvari.
Kako si rekao?
MC5.
MC5, pojma nemam, ali daću im priliku.
Pogledaj.
Definitivno, hoću. A što mislite o našoj sceni?
Kako?
O sceni u Hrvatskoj,
Pa ne mislim previše, i kad bi izrekao mišljenje ne bi baš bilo neko divno. Što se tiče općenito hrvatske glazbe, na primjer Dora i ovo zadnje što bi uopće niti pratim, niti slušam, niti mi se baš previše sviđa. A što se tiče rock and rolla i ovakvih bendova ko što smo mi, nekako mislim da se to u zadnjih par godina dosta smanjilo. Nema više toliko bendova kao kad sam ja imao 15-16, bar mi se čini, ne znam.
Pa ima ih dosta, ali šta znam, imam dojam da više sviraju, mislim, bar što ja relativno pratim, sviraju nekakav world music, mislim, taj nekakav funky band ko vi, ja to ne čula kod nas, možda se vara, možda neko
mandrili
postoji,
bi mogli biti, ali nisu trenutno aktualni.
Da.
Nešto najbliže tome. Drugo, ne znam.
Luka, koje je tvoje mišljenje o našoj scenici?
Ono što ja mislim da je sigurno scena jaka, dobra, ima puno dobrih ljudi koji rade dobre stvari. Evo, mi tu u Krku što organiziramo koncerte sa udrugom i to Friend koji organizira jedan festival zove svakakve bendove za koje ja nisam čuo jer ne slušam očitu muziku. Pogotovo ne hrvatsku toliko, ali on prati i dopelja fantastične bendove, fantastične ljude, ne znam, Star Renner, Bebena Volea, masu dobrih stvari.
Čekaj, o kome pričamo? Aha, to govorite o udruzi Kreativni Krk.
Da, ja sam predsjednik, pa onda imam tu privilegiju upoznati i čuti stvarno fantastične hrvatske bendove koje možda drugi ne čuju, ne vide, ne prate. Tako da evo, i full mi je drago da za G.I. Augusta isto, što je sad totalno, svi su ga skužili, baš mi je drago isto to svirao. Jednostavno fantastični ljudi, fantastičan tip, fantastična glazba. Ima je sigurno, sam treba tražiti, kopat. Moje osobno mišljenje je da možda još uvijek preveliki komad scene drže stariji bendovi, oni koji su već po diskografskim kućama i ono što se stalno vrti po televiziji, radiju. I možda nema toliko prilike za novu mladu ekipu. Ne znam da li ima neki poput nas, tako veliki, mnogočlani bend koji svira nešto tako takvu glazbu, možda ima, možda nema, evo stvarno ne znam, niti imam baš priliku pretjerano odlaziti na koncerte, ali sam siguran da je scena dobra, jaka, samo treba istražiti.
Pa to je, treba pustiti ljudima i da se, ne znam, i da se vrte njihove stvari i da se mogu promovirati nekakvim uobičajenim kanalima, jer isto imam dojam da se u principu stalno vrti jedna te ista muzika, od radio postaja pa do televiziju ne gledam pa ne znam, ali mislim da je isto, Dajte ljudima zraka.
Zato svaka čast vama, sve što radite, ovaj podcast i sve, dajete priliku onima koji je inače možda ne dobiju.
Hvala. Ajde da, sad kad smo tu već, da popričamo malo o vašem prvom EP-u, Funkal Bean Sex Potion. Ćete nam dati recept za naputak?
Ispravak netočnog navoda.
Sorry?
EP smo izbacili pred 3 godine, sad je baš album.
Aha, debitanski album je onda ovo, sorry.
Da, ovo je prvi album, izašao krajem 2. mjeseca nedavno. Dug je put bio do tog albuma, kao što sam rekao, EP smo izbacili pred 2-3 godine, pa smo bacili single, pa sad album. Sve te stvari su objedinjene u tom prvom albumu, naravno. Prošao je pol svijeta i evo vratio se nazad i zadovoljni smo, super. Nažalost se to desilo u ovom trenutku pandemije, pa ga ne možemo ispromovirati, trebalo je biti pred par dana promocija u pogonu. Ali evo, trudimo se i super, baš nam je drago da su ljudi pozitivno reagirali, komentari su super na prvi album, a svaki album prvi je probija led, mi već imamo 20 pjesama, tu 9 pjesama na albumu, mi već mašinerija radi dalje. Imali smo puno koncerata, mora se napuniti satnica i jednostavno to su stvari koje su nastale, kao što je Kristina rekao, 5-6 godina kad smo se kupili. Tako da to su neki početci obilježeni i zapisani sad na prvom albumu i eto, sad idemo dalje, mi smo sretni i zadovoljni kako to sve ispalo, puno smo naučili i eto.
Mi smo zapravo dosta rano išli sa snimanjem tog albuma, možda smo svirali, koliko se sjećam, isto godinu i pol, tamo se skupila ta ekipa od 12 ljudi i odmah smo išli u studiju, to je jako rano snimljeno, samo je dugo trajalo dok nismo izbacili van.
Rekao Luka ranije da je album obišao cijeli svijet, daj objasnite mi malo. Ko je radio sve na njemu?
Da, krenuli smo snimati razgovor od 100 minuta. Krenuli smo snimati u Rijeci, znači u GIS studiju pod voditeljskom palicom Mateja Zec, svi znamo ko je Matej Zec. Kod njega smo nekoliko navrata išli snimati cijeli materijal. Kad smo dobili snimke, stavili smo ih u Njemačku, kod Tomasa Regera u Berlin. Nakon toga, nakon njegove miksa, išlo je sve u Kaliforniju kod Piper Pay na mastering. I vratilo se nazad, jel? A sve to ne bi bilo moguće da nam nije pomogao naš prijatelj Nino Šamanić koji je u Meksiku. On nam inače radi aranžmane za brass sekciju, za puhače i on je završio Berkeley College i ima sad te poznanstva i rekao je evo za tu muziku ti ljudi su provjereni, šaljite njima. Mi smo ga poslušali, drago nam da jesmo, možda zvučio malo drugačije da bi neko u Hrvatskoj to iz miksa zmasterirao. I htjeli smo probati, možda smo išli nekakvim naopakim putem, što nekakvi demo bendovi idu. Htjeli smo odmah u glavu, znači nema tu svirki, nema tu probijanja leda, idemo snimiti album, odmah produkcija u svijet, sve van, bla bla. Kako to već ide, probali smo tu obrnutu psihologiju da sami sebe nekako odmah u glavu stavimo da smo već toliko dugo sviramo po tim različitim bendova, sad smo u bendu kojim želimo biti, radimo kako ono što volimo, što želimo i želimo odmah biti najbolju kvaliteta što može biti. Tako da, eto, prošlo je pol svijeta, evo, prijatelj, kao što sam već pomenuo, Marina Jakšić, koji Kopenhagenu sad radi, nam je radio vizuale i dizajn i Borut Brozović je radio fotografije, tako da ima poprilično puno ljudi koji su sudjelovali na stvaranju ovog albuma.
Kad je promocija, 18.4. kao što si rekao, pogonu kulture, to bi bio korona party, pa je naravno otkazano. A za kad ste prebacili? Nekad 11. mjesec, ako se ne varam.
Da, ja mislim da je 7.11. trenutno zakazan, ali vidjet ćemo i da li će toga biti, kako su stvari krenule, upitno je.
Pa možete nastupiti u crkvi, na primjer. Mislim, ne u klubu crkva tu u Rijeci, nego u Jelu. Jer se tamo smijeću.
A u pravoj crkvi?
U pravoj crkvi, pa da, mislim ako naravno dozvole i sve se dogovori. Pa da.
Bez bubnja onda.
Lagano može. Kad smo već kod turneja, dobili ste nagradu turiranje na Ri Rocku ove godine. Čime ste ju zaslužili? Mislim, puno
Pa,
nastupate, to sam
hoćete
skužila.
plagiranje?
Pa
Da.
dobro, ne znam, gdje ste sve nastupali, koliko u prosjeku ste mjesečno nastupali? Koji vam je, ne znam, bio najdraži koncert,
Pa nastupali smo svagdje, mislim većinom po Hrvatskoj. Čak nešto, ja mislim te godine u Splitu, Malinska, Krk, dobro, to smo bili svagdje, ali ja mislim da nešto za najviše istaknuti bi bila Njemačka. Da smo išli vani, čak smo bili tamo 2-3 dana. To je bilo po zimi, je li tako?
9. mjesec, početak 9. mjeseca.
Da, dobro, tamo je bilo zima. I to smo išli u punom sastavu, s 2 kombija gore, baš bilo dobro. Ljudi su nas dočekali odlično i svirali smo na nekom trgiću vani. Sad bio neki festival vina, hrane, svašta nešto. I baš je bilo dobro, ljudi su nas dosta dobro prihvatili. To je stvarno svirka za pamćenje.
Super.
Da.
Svirali ste i dosta tu kod nas po nekim festivalima, di ste sve?
Pa tu smo svirali, evo, mislim, zahvalni smo prvenstveno u našoj županiji što svi su nam dali priliku ovdje. Znači od otoka Krka do, ne znam, Opatije, Rijeke, Crikvenice, gdje god smo pitali, svima je to bilo interesantno. Stavili smo ponude u Zagreb i Split, ko što već Kristijan rekao, nekima to možda malo strašno zvuči, sad moraju platiti bendu 13 ljudi prijevoz ovo.
Da, i spavanje.
Uspjeli smo svirati i tu vani, a Student Day nam je tu u Rijeci bio super.
In Music,
Dva puta smo svirali. I da, što bi ja osobno spomenuo, najdražih svirki, naravno In Music. Prvo, kad smo pred 2 godine izbacili EP, odmah smo uspjeli ubost In Music i taj level festivala i naše nervoze i treme, sve to će mi ostati pamćenje, baš smo se...
Da, kako vam je bilo svirati? Kakav je feeling?
Pa, feeling je super, svirali smo na World Stage, mislim, drugom, ne najvećim, nego drugom.
Da.
Svirali smo po danu, nema veze, lako za termin, ali ono što je bilo je taj soundcheck, pa nervoza, pa došli smo ujutro, tipa u 9:30, 10, svirali u 6:30, cijeli dan nervozan, čekaš ali fora ogroman stage i odličan feeling i mislim da je to najveća svirka na kojoj smo svirali.
Da.
A meni osobno su drage svirke, svirali smo mi u vrtu od malog roka, od kafića, što mi je bilo fantastično.
To je jedno od najdražih.
Svirali smo na Adventu u Opatiji na Šporeru, mislili smo što će biti hladno, pa neće biti nikog šta je nas zvali neke Grapevine Babies s autorskim funk pjesama na Advent, što Na kraju ispala nama, jedna isto od boljih svirki zapamtit ću jer smo se svi opustili, ako me razumijete, malo smo se popili. I onda je bilo super.
Da je bilo prigodno, šta?
I ljudi su popili, opustili se, onda su bilo jednako dobro. Tako ima, u svakoj svirke mogu odvojiti nešto što je bilo super, nešto što nije bilo super, ali uglavnom sve svirke su bile super, reakcije svih su bile dobre, nigdje nije bilo baš sad, koma. Tako da, evo, stvarno smo svirali svugdje i svagdje i zato možda to autoriranje te nagrade. Imali smo 20 svirki te godine za jedan band koji nema ni album i ništa, dosta smo uspjeli to isposlovati, da.
Da, pa i tekako.
Da.
Sad kad ne možete
možda ljudima je
turirati...
interesantno što nije, kako bi rekao, nije slušna je muzika, plesna je muzika, nema veze što je na engleskom, na hrvatskom, dobar je feeling i onda ako su nas ljudi čuli već jednom live, onda im je bilo ok nas zvati jer su znali da će biti ok, pretpostavljam, tako da nismo imali problema s tim. To je to.
Što mislite o online koncertima? Jer to neka naša budućnost? Mislim, ja se nadam da nije. Da će isključivo sve biti online, ne znam, zbog raznih zabrana, okupljanja, grljenja, diranja i ostalo.
Pa lako moguće, ali nije to kad nema reakcije publike.
Ja, tako, da.
Znam da je uvijek bolje kad sviramo ako doživiš tu moć, kako bi rekao, tu nekakvu energiju od publike, bilo kakva. Puno bolje sviramo, puno je bolje feeling nego kad si ovako sad sam doma. Mislim, nije to, nije isto jednostavno.
Pa da, pa nije isto
niti smo radili
slušati,
te neke videe za internet. Isto, treba neko vrijeme dok se uopće ufuraš u tu svirku da putuješ s njom, a ne da samo odrađuješ. To je velika razlika. Tako je sigurno za live koncert, nisam baš za to, ali ako bude do toga došlo, samo probat ćemo, možda bude super.
Čovjek se na sve navikne, da, istina.
Da.
Luka, šta ti misliš o tim online koncertima?
Pa mislim da možda lakše s tehnike strane nekome kantautoru, nekom jednom ili dvoje, troje ili četvero u bendu. Mi s 13 mislim da nema pretjerano puno smisla da tako nešto radimo, ne bi bio to taj feeling. ali razumijem online svirke i mislim da su prijeko potrebne u ovom trenutku da se ne glupo zvuči, ali ne zaboravi, da stalno ljudi, makar online sviraju ako ima neki novi materijal da ga prezentiraju, ako ima stari materijal da ga prezentiraju, jednostavno da budu prisutni konstantno, što pokušavamo mi biti što prisutniji, tako da kad jednog dana se prođe da ljudi ne osjete toliko da su nešto prepustili, kako bi to opisao drugačije. Jer izazovno je, ali i bolje je to nego ništa.
Da, pa definitivno.
Da, u svakom slučaju.
Da. Pa sad je možda dobro vrijeme i za stvaranje, ono šta, ako smo svi doma.
Pa je, ali problem što je nas pola na Krku, pola u Rijeci. Dok se bar dio ekipe
Dobro,
ne vrati u Rijeku, bar kostur bender, mi na taj način radimo probe. Prvo bas gitara, bubanj, vokal, složimo nešto, pa onda imamo ideju za bras, pa ideju za bekove. Onda malo vidimo s njima, pa dosta će to biti teško ako bude preko interneta. Nije. Što da smo bendu 4 ljudi, još ajde. Ovako. Ali probat ćemo ako budemo morali.
A kad ste mnogo ljudi na kvarnerska punk senzacija. Šta si planirate u budućnosti?
U budućnosti planiramo prvenstveno napraviti ono što smo trebali napraviti prije korone. Dakle, ispromovirati prvi album maksimalno. Znači, probati svirati svugdje gdje nismo i gdje jesmo i tamo smo počeli raditi na tom konceptu live koji se zove Fantastic Night i sve smo lijepo spojili, čak i neke sampleve išli raditi, svašta smo se nešto pomučili, potrudili da to bude u pogonu baš ono boom i velikom hvala svima koji su kupili karte za to. Odužit ćemo se, moći doći valjda jedan put i na to. Tako da meni osobno za budućnost je isključivo to, znači svirati, promovirati, materijal imamo puno i konstantno radimo novi materijal i uvijek će biti razlog za svirkom ako je bude moglo biti. Meni je čisto plan što više svirati. Eto.
Da, također.
Još nešto? Samo također.
Samo također.
Dobro.
Mislimo isto i preko interneta.
Da.
Third Eye Channel. Ništa, iz vaših usta u svemir. Panka i dezinficijenca i duginih boja.
To.
Hvala vam puno na javljenju, dečki.
Hvala vam.
Hvala vama, ćao.
Došli smo do kraja našeg live-a. Ovo je bio 16. Ri Rock podcast, a ako ste nešto propustili, emisija će biti dostupna na službenom YouTube kanalu. Čekirajte sve linkove ispod videa, pratite rad udruga, pratite Music Box, pratite Distune, Radio Rožu, Studio Palach i naravno rad ekipe s kojom smo čakulali. Do sljedećeg puta, želim vam puno fine muzike, uživajte i vidimo se uskoro. Bye!